Welcome back, trainers. So we're going to be talking about leaderboards, possibly in Pokemon Go. Have a little story time about my past, and talk about how competitive I am and my experience with those. So back in 2002, I bought my first Xbox and then received Xbox Live. That was a blast. There was a game called Mech Assault, which had a leaderboard, and I would play so much. I mean, it wasn't to the point where it was too much. I just was very efficient in my matches. I won onto the top leaderboards, and I mean, ever since that time that I was on the leaderboards for that game, I've always tried to reach the top goal, trying to get my name up there. And I tried to solder my Xbox to do some like modding and having multiple games on there at once. And then I actually broke it. So sold all the games, and then I bought one of these things, the N-Gage made by Nokia. This was a phone that could play games, and it also had some sort of a online service where you can go and play against other people's shadows in Tony Hawk, Tomb Raider. There was many games. Okay, they also came out with a second version, the QD, which was awesome. It was exciting at the time. Before, you had to take out the battery for the first one. It was ridiculous, and you had to hold it sideways to talk. It was absolutely nutty, but it was so fun. So as you can see, a ton of games. Anyways, I was on the leaderboards for a bunch of those, and they put my name in their manuals. They sent me a bunch of prizes. I still have a backpack to this day. Actually was searching the web to see if I could find anything about this, because it was all over their websites and stuff, and I was Star Kid. So there I am. Yeah, it was crazy. If you used to play it, let me know. Did you used to play the N-Gage? I was on many of the leaderboards, and it was some good times. Still have the backpack from when they sent me because it's such high quality. So that leads me up to leaderboards in Pokemon Go. Now, there's many ways that they can do this. They can go this simple route and just have people who've done the most raids, basically the badges, but on an online basis, comparing the top people in that area. And depending upon where you're registered, say they'll have a new registration thing saying, where do you live? Anchorage, Alaska, and it'll be a permanent kind of a thing, and then you can reset it every once in a while. So that's how I'll know what area you're in. And if you're in different districts, obviously it'll have different options for you to pick, so you can see who is in your area. Like I said, it'll be kind of like a medal deal. They can go that way, and then when PvP is released, obviously battles won, battles lost, win ratio. You've all seen leaderboards before. Street Fighter, you name it. I mean, they're everywhere now. And if I'm naming kind of older games, just a couple there, but I haven't really been on the leaderboard thing lately because I know what it takes. As a matter of fact, there's a game on the PlayStation 4, Digimon Cyber Sleuth. I made it up on there. If you want to go check it out, my name is Digital Blaze AK, PlayStation Network name. Basically, you have to completely dedicate yourself, not shut everything and everybody out, but you just have to be focused on that. You're not going to be playing multiple games, maybe one here and there, but you're mostly going to be playing that game all the time, so you can be the best that you can be. Not only that, but you need to keep up with those people on the leaderboards, because it's no joke. It's constantly rising, and the bar and the standards are all like just evolving constantly. So you have to always be playing as well. If you stop playing for like 2 weeks, forget about it. You're going to drop. I also was on a couple leaderboards for the Xbox, a game called Saints Row 2. Now that was my game right there. Oh my goodness. It was good times. I made it up on the team deathmatch leaderboard. That gamer tag's gonna be Red Rummy, so like Red Rum with 2 Y's. Yeah, man, it's good times. I really hope Niantic comes out with leaderboards because it's gonna be amazing. What would I focus on? Probably just the PvP, but who knows what kind of thing they can do. Maybe the raid times as well. I know the raid clock is broken, but you know, let's just be realistic. If they had it, who did it the fastest? Because people do that off the record. Well, I mean, on the record, but not official by Niantic. They have all kinds of leaderboards out right now, worldwide, globally, and you can get in there, but you have to fill out the forms, which is perfectly fine. But it'd be just amazing to have an official one within the game. And if you're worried about cheaters, I don't know what to tell you. And I'm not talking about spoofers, like, say PvP, and they keep battling themselves. Like, to get wins, because that's another thing you have to worry about is that kind of cheating. People like multi-counting to try to boost their wins on a PvP game. That's not unheard of for, every kind of console. So, don't stress that too much. I'm sure Niantic could make some sort of cooldown. You can't do more than like 3 battles with one person in a certain amount of time, so they can't just boost it up like that if it's a ranked battle, because usually you have your standard just a PvP match online with whoever in whatever game, and then you have the ranked mode, which it's more strict, there's rules, and it's not as lenient as just going into a public match. So you have to think about that too. I'm sure they'll implement things like that if they even make a leaderboard. That's going to get highly competitive, and I know there's people saying, well, people are going to get violent. I mean, come on, people are violent on all kinds of games. I know they're through the headset, and Pokemon Go is real life. And if there's people like that who are actually physically getting crazy and trying to get violent, you need to record them. And these people need to get, I don't know what. I mean, that's extremely uncalled for. So if you have to deal with that, it's, I personally have before, but it hasn't happened in a while. But I could see PvP bringing out a lot of anger in people, which it shouldn't, because if you lose legitimately, you shouldn't get mad. You should just be like, man, okay, got my butt kicked. How can I improve? If you lost to a cheater, I guess you can get upset, but not like psycho. But it's Pokemon Go. You can't really cheat with the Pokemon. Plus, that's getting way too ahead of ourselves. We don't even know how it's going to work or the rework. But I'm just trying to talk about all kinds of little aspects here, because I know that was a big concern with people, as other trainers getting mad. But don't worry about that. Have fun with the game. Think about that. So, yeah, PvP tournaments. You have 3 versus 3, 2 versus 2. You're going to have a partner. How is that going to work? Are you just going to, I don't know. Because they have to do a rework. They did make a trailer showing 3 versus 3. It could have just been concept. But at the same time, Pokemon does have that in the main series. They could just release a 1 versus 1, and that's simple as that. But with a rework, they could introduce that. So let's think about it. There's a lot to be said and a lot of ideas to be put on the table. It's just up to Niantic. I have a feeling they've been working on this for a while now, and it's not just like, we're just starting here. Pretty sure they've been working on it for quite some time, trying to perfect it, evolving it. They probably had many ideas that have changed over time due to things they found out are not going to work, brainstorming, and they're almost finished. But who knows? Don't get your hopes up for it anytime soon. That's what I'm not trying to promote. Just a few ideas to talk about. So yeah, I'm highly competitive. I would be focusing on the PvP 1 versus 1 mostly. If the doubles had some sort of leaderboard and they even had double matches, that would be great. I already know a few people who would be great partners. And it's just a matter of other people would be available. Because in Pokemon Go, you can't just do an online ranked match as opposed to like just sitting at home. You can find all the people you want to play easy as just entering a lobby. But for Pokemon Go, you're going to have to go out and find them. And that might be very easy for some people, but more difficult for others. If you're trying to look for a challenger, maybe they're always busy and their partner's busy too, things like that. So you have to think about that aspect as well. Now, if they did make it online, that's another thing to think about. Do I oppose that? Absolutely not. I'm all for that, because like in the beginning, that N-Gage, it was a mobile device just like I'm doing now, games online. The only thing we're missing is that head-to-head actual confrontation battle, good confrontation. And I'm waiting for it. And that would be right up my alley. It'll take me right back down nostalgia lane, back into the N-Gage days. So I think that would be great if you can do random matchmaking online. And about the thing I've been talking about for a while, the different sort of categories of PvP levels. This is just a theory. Say you couldn't go above 7,000 total CP for all your Pokemon, and then 12,000, and then like 20, or not 20, like unlimited, right? And then a legendary mode. For the middle and for the low end, you might be able to think about, since we're getting this Chikorita, right, coming up for Community Day, you can do Meganium would be pretty good, which I failed to mention. I kind of was saying, it's not that good. All these other grass types are better. But I failed to say, well, you could probably use it for these PvPs if it ends up being like this, which I have a feeling Niantic's going to implement something to the liking of that, where there's going to be different tiers and you can't pick monstrous Pokemon for all of them. You're going to have to, pick the lower tier Pokemon. So things like a Meganium might be actually worthy in the end. You have Pokemon like Venusaur where CPs are very close, and you can just pick a lower tier Venusaur. But, I'm just throwing out ideas. So you have that as well. And that's almost about it for now. Could go on and on talking about this, but I think I'll about end this here. And just a little discussion about what I think about PvP. Pretty excited. So hopefully this ends up well. And with that said, trainers, thank you for watching. Hope I entertained you. And I'll be catching you all next time. Take care.